All right, welcome to this edition to Get to Know the Wayne State Softball Program for the 2025 season. We're joined by fourth-year head coach Nicole Tines. Coach, last year was another step of improvement in the record, looking to take another step this year. Obviously, a key is in the circle.
Yep.
And you literally have three new faces this year with Grace Fisher, a transfer from Notre Dame College, freshman Ellie Koopman, and then Hayden Batten coming off an injury. What does that trio add to what you got last year from Sydney Long?
Yeah, I mean, it adds a lot. It adds a lot of depth and it adds a lot of confidence in the circle. We've also added in Montgomery Pepin as well, who, has come a long way here in her, since coming in as a freshman. So I think she'll be able to give us, an inning or two and add to our program as well. So it's nice to know we have more bodies and more arms in the circle that we can go to, and everybody is going to be able to come in and contribute.
Yeah, that seemed to be a challenge last year with literally three arms, and you had a freshman and, up and down roller coaster and stuff like that.
And I think it gives our pitchers obviously confidence, and they're confident in each other's abilities that, if they're maybe struggling, they can tap in and go to somebody else behind, and they're going to be able to pick it up. So not feeling all the pressure on one or two arms is definitely going to help us in the circle.
And how does that relate to defense actually, instead of walks that seemed to be a problem last year, we had almost 150 walks. That hopefully more balls will be put in play this year.
Yeah, definitely, and we've seen that in practice. And we've taken more of an approach this winter practice of seeing a lot of live. So our hitters are going to be more prepared right out of the gate, which is the goal. Our pitchers, I've had to work on that confidence piece because the hitters always gain the advantage in the winter workouts, usually later on. Especially if we go to this tactic. So, but they're putting balls in the zone. I mean, balls are in play for our defense, which is great because then we're able to work together as a group and a unit in the infield, and again develop that relationship with the outfield and the infield working together. So there's action in our practices, which is going to prepare us for season. So
you have 5 returning starters out of the 8 position players plus the DP. Obviously, offense is a key. I mean, we know defense and pitching wins championships, but you need to win games with offense. Last year, 14-6 when scoring at least 4 runs, 3-24 when scoring 3 or less. So it seems like 4 might be the magic number. Talk about some of the kids you've got returning starters, what they provide to the offense.
Having Riley Josephson back has been key for us. She's just a pure power hitter, and you have that confidence almost when she's at the plate that she's going to find a way to get on base. So having her that we continue to see at the front of our lineup will give us a spark plug boost. We have Logan Foreman coming back, who did really well as a freshman and put up some strong numbers. So she's continuing to get stronger, which is awesome to see. We have some, I think overall we have consistency in our lineup, which is nice. We've added some freshmen in who are going to bring some power. Ellison Koopman has some power in her bat. Hunter Neer has been very consistent. Abby Barnes also can bring some power. So that's been nice. Kate DeWitt as well has definitely got a lot of power in her bat. But as much as we have more of that home run threat this year, we have consistency. And that's kind of the style on offense that we preach to our program and our girls is let's work for, gap to gap, get on base, and we can make some things happen.
Yeah, definitely. Power was one thing lacking last year with just 8 home runs in the 47 games. Talk about some of the kids that have been around defensively, like Maddie Houle at second base. You've had Maddie Martinez play a lot at third last year. I know with Kate DeWitt, you've got a pretty good tandem right there.
Yeah, this truly, Jeff, is going to be a year where we have depth in every position, which, is not something that we've been used to the last 3 years. So, Maddie Houle is just a leader on the field. She's continued to progress, and, I know she's going to continue to progress and be a mainstay in our infield. Jessie O'Donnell has also emerged in the infield as giving us some more depth there as well, and she's been in our program for 4 years, and so she definitely knows the system, and I think her leadership has really grown in that area as well. And then at third base, defensively we are solid. So again, hoping that leadership and that ripple effect starts to continue, or to just branch out to the rest of our players on the field. Molly Houle has also done a nice job at first base for us, which is a position that she's kind of come into their own. So, we've asked a lot of our kids and they've responded, and I'm really excited so far with what we've seen this whole year. We're excited to get out and play.
Yeah, the season starts in just about a week. You were talking about the depth in different parts. You've got Morgan Williams also that can play first base, and then in the outfield you've got Maddie Rosinski plus a few other returners and Danielle Fick, the transfer from Notre Dame. So it seems like you've got a lot of players that can play a lot of multiple positions to give you a lot of flexibility when you're filling out the lineup card.
Yeah, and I think too what's nice this year is, it's a long season, right? And we obviously have aspirations and goals to go into postseason and deeper into postseason. And having more flexibility in players who can play multiple positions gives us a little bit of a reprieve on a lot of our starters, that they're not having to grind out, all 56 games, that they can get a little bit of a break, which hopefully will get us kind of peaking at the right time going into postseason, hopefully.
Speaking of the schedule, trying something new this year, going to an early season tournament in Tennessee. What prompted that? Because normally we've started this year at the Dome tournament in Chicago.
Tournament. Yeah, I think in working with you and talking with you, I think it's just something that we kind of wanted to be a little more prepared going into Lewis and try to play outside. It's nothing like the sky and the dirt. So as much as the Dome is great on the guaranteed games piece and playing those in-region competitions.
There was one year where we had the wind.
Oh, true.
Always don't play in Lewis.
True. I felt it was going to be good for our team to get another trip in early and go down to Tennessee and hopefully some nicer weather, but we'll see. And just play some competition that we're not necessarily used to seeing and get on some dirt. And I think this is a group that has a great dynamic right now that, we want to kind of build some confidence, hopefully going into Lewis and just play together, at least one more weekend going into Lewis.
Sounds good. You've got the usual trip to Florida for spring break, but between the Dome and Florida, you've got a home series with Finley.
Yeah.
Trying to fit that in. I know last
We'll
year
see.
I think we played there on the way down to Florida.
Yeah. Finley's always, got a great program, and, in talking to Danny, their coach, we'll see if we can get that in on March 2nd. Last year it was, 75 and sunny?
Yeah.
Baseball played. So fingers crossed, but we'll see. But always good competition. Again, in region, we have a really strong region, and those are always great tests. We want to play tough competition, but, this year I want to work on gaining some steam and gaining some confidence, and, but we got to be able to sprinkle in those tougher in-region games, because at the end of the day, if we want to get ranked in region, we got to play those tough teams, and we have one of the tougher, I think, regions across the country.
It's definitely when you look at what Grand Valley and Saginaw has done, and now we've had a Roosevelt who's had some success at the NAIA level, 28 conference games this year, plus home doubleheaders against Tiffin and Ohio Dominican, non-conference wise, and Northwood. So we've got some home games this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully the
it'll
weather
be nice
will
to be
cooperate.
home. Yeah, it'll be nice to be home this year. Yeah.
So what would be a successful season in Coach Tines' mind if we talk in June?
Yeah, I think culture-wise, we've really done a lot of work with our program since day one, when they were back at the end of August, and I'm really feeling confident in this group as a whole. Just on leadership has developed, just camaraderie and sisterhood has developed, and friendship, and I think I have a really good group that wants to come every single day and put the work in. Now more than ever, I have a group that also has put extra work in. They're constantly coming in to hit. They're constantly coming in to take extra ground balls, which is something that, we haven't seen. So I know the drive and determination is there. And for me, I want to continue to grow that culture. And I want to win ball games. So from a statistics standpoint, I would love to be 500 or above. That would be a huge goal for me. And that's going to continue to improve and be that 1% better everyday mindset that we preach to our kids.
Well, if what they did in the classroom in the fall, I think it was a 3.67 as a team GPA.
Yeah.
If that carries over into on-the-field performance, it'll definitely be a successful year.
Yeah, this group is rowing in the right direction, and everybody's on board and everybody's bought in. And that's all I can ask of them. So now we just got to trust in the work we've put in. It's like studying for the exam, right? And then on game day, you just got to go out and trust in your abilities and the work they've put in. So I'm excited.